some greed. We're going to go over some, people who have just started trading and they're just always blowing accounts, or they're just not progressing, to where they should be. So I'm going to go over some of that. And at the end of this call, I'll be marking up some charts as well to see if there's any good moves coming. I do know it's in the middle of the week. So today is definitely a great day today, to be honest, to look over the charts. I like looking over the charts on Wednesdays as well, because I do think that once you guys get into the habit of doing it every day, it's really easy. So let's get started. We're going to go over some mindset today, and we're going to go over some greed and breaking bad habits, okay? Because that's a really, really important call to make, okay? So let's do this today, okay? So today we're going over greed, and also just some mindset, okay? So some mindset, let's get rid of that, and let's go, guys. So I want you all to get pen and paper ready, and we can kickstart this call. So today's one is obviously greed. A lot of people suffer from greed. A lot of people actually think that greed is just money related, but sometimes it's not. Put 111 in the chat if you guys suffer from greed of something. Right? Put 111 in the chat if you guys suffer from greed of something, right? Whether it's money, whether it's attention, whether it's affection, whether it's, I don't know, like everything under the sun, possessions. Guys, greed is not just money. And I don't want anyone on this call to think that it's just money, because it's really not just money, okay? It could be anything. It could be someone's attention. It could be greed of like attention from people, affection, whatever it is. Guys, greed does come in forms. So let's see what greed actually is. Now, before when it came out, well, not came out, but when obviously the deadly sins, it was excessive desire for wealth and possessions, okay? So write that down. That's what greed originally came from the sins. And the reason why this is a bad thing back then, obviously it's like your interpretation if you think greed is bad now, but back then is that you put it above everything else, and we're going to tackle some of the reasons for that, okay? So it's detriment of others and putting their one, okay, so it's putting your wants first, actually. And one thing that I want you guys to know is you can never have enough, okay? This is something that we went over yesterday, but greed is a bit like you can't ever have enough. So even when someone gives you something, you want it more and more and more, and that will not fuel your satisfaction, okay? So I want you guys to look up one story today, which is Bernie Madoff, and his Ponzi scheme, okay? So I want you guys to look that up today. He cheated people $65 billion, okay? He was sentenced to 150 years, so he was punished. But guys, I want you to look up this story, okay? Because it's really interesting to see how greed can have such a bad influence on people. Obviously, he had $1 billion company, but it was all based on greed. So that is not it's not gonna last. And also, it's not the greatest thing to do. But if you can channel this greed in a positive light, you'll be able to have something that's much more beneficial. So today's training is used on The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And after our trade, I'll mark up some charts. How many of you guys have read Power of Subconscious Mind? Put 111 in the chat if you've read The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's a really, really good book, guys. I really strongly recommend that you look this up, you read it 24/7, because for me, I feel like this has helped me a lot, okay? So it also helps you calm that down. So definitely make sure you read this book. I have based some of the stories in it, and that will help. So 4 signs you are too greedy with money, because obviously we start off seeing if you actually struggle from this at all. Number 1, guys, is you ignore people you can afford to help. So write that down. You ignore people you can afford to help. It's said that 85% in the US, so this is the stats I found in the US, but I think it's genuinely all around across the board, of people in the US are donated to charity. This is one example, okay? So if you can afford to do it, but then refuse, you are greedy with money. So if someone came up to you and they were looking for some change, I'm not saying give it to everyone, guys. I'm just saying you had a few coins in your pocket and someone asked you for that change because they're homeless, so no matter what reason it is, you had some spare change, but you refused to give it. This can be a sign that you can be too greedy with money. I'm not saying that you are, you might just be cautious. These are just things that have come up, okay? Number 2, The goal itself is to keep making more money, but not necessarily why you want more. Okay, so you're not necessarily sure of why you want more. You don't really know why you're working so hard for money. You sacrifice everything in the day just to make more money, but you don't really know why, right? Like, you know, the why that everyone says. You know, you say you want financial freedom and all of this stuff, but when you're just making more and more money, it's more about you having the money rather than what you do with it, right? Rather than who you're helping, rather than what you want to achieve. So it's kind of like, in a weird way, you just want to make more money. That's it. You don't know why. You're trying to fill a void. You're trying to fill a hole, and you think making more money will make you happy. But what happens to these types of people is that when they make more and more, it's not enough. And then when it's not enough, they're like, why am I still not happy? Right? So that's what happens sometimes with greedy people with money. Next thing, number three, rest of your life is falling apart, right? You're making money, you put money above everything else, but everything else is falling apart. Your friend, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your loved ones, just enjoyment that you have in society, just faith, just happiness in general starts to fall apart, right? So you are so obsessed with the idea of making money that when you do make money, right, you're not really happy, but also everything else is falling apart. So everyone knows that you have love, faith, family, health, fitness, all of these other things that you need to worry about and be cautious of, but then it falls apart. So that's another thing. And number four is you fail to use your money for anything fun for yourself or loved ones, right? So I'm going to go over some charts after this call, and after this, a few slides, and we're going to see if we can make some money today. If not, it doesn't matter, because we're still going to be happy regardless, okay? So we're going to look over some kind of ways of marking up charts to help with this greed. So you got to understand, guys, you got to use your money for fun as well, okay? Not just everything is just for your bank account. You want to keep it for fun too. Now, what does the book say? Because this is what we really need to know. How do we stop this greed of anything, okay? So the 51% rule, okay? Write this down. 51% rule is the freedom from habit. So it's actually the desire to stop this bad habit you have, and you're 51% already done, okay? So I do go over it in the next slide, but basically understand that if you guys are here and you're like, I want to stop this over trading, I want to stop over leveraging, I want to stop blowing my account, I want to honestly take this seriously, then you're 51% already there, okay? So if you're on this call because you've blown accounts, and you're on this call because you don't understand why you keep this thirst of greed or anything like that, just know that just accepting that, you're 51% there. So you only have another 49% to go, and that's all right, okay? Next thing is law of substitution. So write that down. Peace of mind is mine. Okay, so this is what you need to say. Right, when you go to bed, this is a bedtime habit, by the way, and it's a really good one. I use it in the morning as well. Before I trade, by the way, I use this too. Basically, you want to say what you're trying to achieve, right? So peace of mind, that's what you say. Peace of mind is mine now, and I give thanks, right? So you have to say that out loud. So if you're looking for financial freedom, for instance, or you're looking to not be so greedy, right? You got to say what it is, and you got to say it is mine, and I give thanks, okay? Because subconsciously you're helping your mind understand that greed. Also, a good tactic to use is before sleeping, close your eyes and imagine your loved one saying congratulations, okay? So if you're here because you want to have a really big trading account, you got to imagine the person you love the most saying congratulations and giving you a big hug for doing that, right? So you're helping your subconscious mind already experience those feelings. And that really helps, because the one thing that they say is that the fear has a big factor in greed, okay? So fear has a big factor in greed. So the thought power, first thing you need to write down is solution in the problem, okay? So there's a solution in your problem. So guys, put in the chat box some problems that you have right now, right, in terms of trading. We'll go over it with the charts, actually. Guys, put in the chat box some problems that you have with trading, and we'll go over it on the charts. Yeah, so after this slide, I think I've got 2 more slides. So over leveraging is one problem. What other problems do you have with trading, guys, in terms of why you keep blowing your account? Because obviously the title was blowing the account, right? Colorblind with candles, okay, that's something different. You might need to change that to lines. We'll figure that out. Stop loss, okay, never stopping, okay, not stopping, not setting a stop loss. Okay, that's all a greed issue. Yeah, these are all greed issues. Anything else, guys, that you have a problem with trading, right? So we're having stop loss issues, we're having over leverage issues. Are there any other issues that you guys have found with trading, right? Over trading, not knowing when to stop, over trading, okay, over leveraging, haven't started trading, still learning, okay, cool. Being okay, machine gun rather than a sniper, okay, cool. Anything else, guys? Stop loss, okay, so everyone's stuff, okay, so you guys are all greedy traders basically, confused which pattern to take. HFX, okay, right, market turns the opposite side when I actually trade, fast money when, okay, cool. So we have quite a few issues that you guys are finding with trading, and I think a lot of the issues are genuinely down to greed. Because when you're not setting, okay, so let's start with one. Okay, number one, the solution is in the problem, not setting a stop loss. What do you think the solution is, guys, for not setting a stop loss? What's the solution to this? Right in the chats, what is the solution to not setting a stop loss? Set a stop loss. There we go, right? So that is what we need to do. Right? So number 2 is habit is the result of your subconscious mind. So guys, imagine your habit is formed by repeating a thought and an act again and again and again. So when you started trading, you obviously didn't set a stop loss, right? You didn't set a stop loss. So now you formed a habit by not doing it because you didn't do it in the first place. So you're repeating a thought and a habit again and again and again. Now, that is one of the main reasons traders fail, okay? They start bad habits and then they keep it going. So now you've started a bad habit, you need to fix it. And the only way to fix a habit is to replace that habit, right? That's the only way. So if you're greedy with something, if you're not happy with something, guys, you need to understand that the only way to really fix that is understanding you need to replace that habit, right? So number 4, guys, is freedom to choose a good or bad habit, right? So a lot of you guys have listed some bad habits, right? Over trading, not setting a stop loss, not, I can understand the learning ones. That's not really a greed issue, to be honest. That's a different issue. We're going to talk about that later in the week. Over trading is greed. Stop loss and over trading is very, very much greedy. Okay. Now this is an issue, right? So if you're finding that, what's happening is you're choosing the bad habit over the good habit. Okay. So your desire is stronger for the bad habit than the good habit. And this is one thing that you guys need to understand is really dangerous, okay, in terms of trading. So you got to set a mental picture with faith, and that can be held. So guys, when you have a big account, what do you picture your life? Write that in the chat. When you have a big account, what do you see in front of you? When you have a big account, what do you actually see in front of you? Because setting that mental picture is the most crucial bit. This is what it says with subconscious mind, is that it's actually the mental picture that you're forming, which is more important than the actual result, right? So the only obstacle is your own thoughts and mental image. We already know that. What else does the book say, right? So we're going to look over some charts and some problems that you guys have got. But what else does the book say? It says, when your mind wanders, bring it back to the goal, as this disciplines your subconscious mind. Write that down, right? When you guys are daydreaming, when you guys have issues, when you have distractions, right? When you have all these things going on, your mind is wandering and you're not bringing it back to the goal. So what's everyone's goal on this call? Write down, what's everyone's goal? What is everyone's goal? Yeah. What is everyone's goal? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to help people? Are you trying to help your family? Are you helping yourself? Who are you trying to help? And that is the mental picture you need to bring back. Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to say it really nice and bluntly because that's what I'm known for, right? Being blunt and savage. right? Some of you guys that want to help everyone around you, like you want to create financial freedom for your family, but yet you haven't really done anything, right? And you know who I'm talking to. You know exactly who you are because you're feeling that I'm digging at you, right? So I have people that I've mentored that have wanted 8, 9 figure accounts because they want to retire their family, right? They want to create financial freedom or break that curse. But when I ask them how much time do you spend actually trading and learning how to trade and spending time on Go Live with the educators, asking as many questions as you can, how much time have you spent doing that a day? They can't give me more than 1 hour. They can't give me even, maybe some of them even 1 hour, right? So one thing that I want you guys to understand is that this only works if you add the action to it, right? If you want to have a successful business, but you have yet failed in actually signing someone up, or you have yet failed in kind of getting your first 2 and 3, right? You got to understand, do I have as much action that I'm saying? Because let me tell you, the only way that people know you're working is through your results. No matter how much shit you say, no matter how much you say, okay, I'm making this, I want to do this and I want to do that. Guys, it doesn't matter, right? Only your results will tell people if you're working or not. That's the only way to see work ethic, the results. There is under no circumstance any other way. You know those successful people you see? They're the ones that went in all in, like they spent every free moment they had trying to achieve their goals. So you know who you are, right? You know who you are. But I'm telling you now, if you want to achieve your goals, you need to give some actions to it, okay? Because there's no way you can keep going on and on and on and saying what you're going to do for people. But then when they say, okay, cool, what's your account on? Guys, in the real world, right? Let me tell you, in the real world, in terms of traders, do you know what they ask you? They ask you, what's your lot size? Yeah. You know, when you say you want a 7, 8, 9 figure trading account, they say, what's your lot size right now? And then they judge you on that. When you want to have a big business, they say, okay, cool, what rank are you? When you have your own business, they say, what's your sales like? Right? What's your sales this month? Because people are judging you by your results, right? They're not judging you by your words. They're judging you by your results. And that's the real cruel world that we're in. Okay? And actually, I respect that. I like that. Because I also judge people by their results, right? So if you want to make sure that you have kind of this desire to achieve greatness, make sure you have the work ethic behind. And the only way to grow your trading account is through skill, right? Just skill. It's not over leveraging, because that blows your account. It's not by over trading that blows your account. It's pure skill and discipline. That's the only way to do it. Now, number 8, everyone has a jinx. Okay, cool. How many of you guys feel like that you've had some bad luck? Everything you touch turns to shit. How many of you guys feel that? Put 111 in the chat if you've had that. Everything you touch in life turns to shit, right? You touch it, it goes wrong. You go into an amazing relationship, it ends. You start trading, you lose money. You start business, you lose money. You start studying, you get bad results. Everything you touch turns wrong, right? Now, this book says the reason why. Okay, everyone has a jinx. Okay, cool. So this is what it says. He says, everyone has that bad luck, right? Everyone has it. That follows them around. It is the fear that you're thinking being repeated over and over again, which is causing that bad luck. So for instance, if you are fearing, say, you went into a new relationship and you said, every relationship I have been in ends badly. Everyone I've met is just wrong. Everyone I come across uses me. If you keep thinking about these fear, it's your fear, and it keeps being repeated and repeated and repeated. Now, in this book, it says your subconscious mind always wins. So if you are thinking about, every time I grow my business, it's ruined. You know why? Because you keep thinking it's ruined, so you're actually manifesting it to fail. So what he says is picture the happy ending and sustain it with confidence. So it's not just saying I'm going to have a big business. It's not just picturing it. You need to have the confidence and move like you have the confidence to do it. So guys, one of the crucial things in this book is confidence. If you guys lack confidence in trading, you won't be a competent trader. If you're lacking confidence in business, you won't have a business. You will keep working for someone else, okay? So you need to understand how to develop that confidence, and we'll go over it in the week, and how to keep reminding yourself. Because it's not just picturing in it, it's not just saying it, it's actually having the internal self-confidence and self-love to be able to achieve that. Now, number 9, write this down, is with your desire to give up, right? With your desire to give up, when your desire is greater than the desire to continue the bad habit, you are 51% healed. So one thing I know is when my desire to not overtrade is greater, right? Is greater than the desire to not overtrade, I'm 51% healed, right? It's that desire inside. If you guys have a desire to over leverage, no matter how many webinars you go on, no matter how many go lives you go on, no matter how much you study, no matter what you do, it won't be enough, because the desire is 51%. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Put 111 if that makes sense. If you're over trading, you don't have a stop loss, all of that thing, right? Is your desire is 51%. So without that desire, you will never get over that habit. Now, number 10 is the real cause to any bad habit is negative and destructive. So if you're greedy, if you're over leveraging, the actual cause is always because you're negative and you have a destructive habit, right? So the more positive you are, that is it. So how do we overcome this? Now, this is the last slide, guys, before we look up some charts and see what we have, because I do believe that New York will open soon. So let's see if we can get some good ideas. Now, how do we overcome this? Number 1, establish a happy morning routine with happy music or happy podcasts. So you remind yourselves the benefit of being alive, okay? So number 1 is happy routine, okay? Number 1 is not about planning your day. Like, listen, you should plan your day the night before. Don't plan your day in the morning. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, right? You plan your day the night before. You don't plan. So when you're checking charts, guys, check it the night before. Don't check it in the morning. Like, I think it's better to check it the night before. If you suffer from over trading, I definitely recommend checking the charts the night before, okay? Because it gives you momentum, it gives you more like stability, and gives you more patience as well. Okay, number 2, if you're suffering from anything negative in your life, guys, if you have poor self-esteem, you don't love yourself, ditch social media if it's not to your business benefit. Now, some of you guys are using social media, which is amazing, but you're not having results. So use a different social media. Number 3 is embrace the small wins with the team. Share it, as this will help you more than them, okay? So when we go over some trade ideas today, and guys, make sure you tell me what pairs you want me to look at. But when we look at the pairs, we want to celebrate the small wins. So I'm going to show you how to celebrate some small wins. Number 4 is make the days count and special in every single day. So guys, we're going to show you in the charts how we can make the days count. Number 5 is do something nice during the week. Okay, make sure you don't just for the weekend. If you keep living for the weekend, then you're going to find a very miserable week. Okay, the most miserable traders are the ones living for the weekend, and also I don't see much growth in them either. So we want to make sure that we don't just live for the weekend. Number 6 is buy experiences and not things. So when we look over charts and you withdraw money, make sure you're buying experiences, not things. You want to keep a clutter-free home. So write this down, clutter-free home and positive people. And you want to complete all little tasks before 10 a.m. Don't do anything that you wanted to do after 10 a.m., right? Keep all little things, all little tasks before 10 a.m. You want to also exercise. You want to stop overthinking. And guys, read this book or buy it. Declutter Your Mind by S.J. Scott and Barry Davenport. okay? But Declutter Your Mind by S.J. Scott and Barry Davenport is really, really good for this issue that we have. So those are the points I want to guys focus on. We are going to look up some charts. Guys, who's excited? Drop some fire if you want to look at some charts right now. Drop some fire. Let's see what everyone is saying. Right, let's look up some charts. Guys, okay, cool. Let's see. Now, guys, do you have any questions before we start looking up some charts? Do you guys have any questions before we start looking up some charts? Right? What is everyone's pair? Let's see. What's everyone looking at today? Right? Oh, sorry. I don't know what's happened there. What's everyone looking at today? Let's see your pairs, guys. Let's see what we're looking at. Nope. I'm not going over US30 Z. Nope. Okay. Euro USD, USD CHF, GU. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got here, shall we? So we will go up to here. And I'll do it from the beginning, guys. Anyway, I trade with music on. So if you guys want to see how I mark up, I do it exactly the way I'm going to show you today, because I feel like everyone needs to see a few quick markups, right? So guys, I trade with music on, so I will be putting on the songs and I will write down all the pairs. So let's see, what pairs are we looking at? And my gosh, you guys trade so many pairs. Okay, cool. So let me write this down. So notes. So we have got okay, cool. I'm just going to stop the video because I was told that I can't upload this I can't upload this with YouTube. So guys, give me your pairs. I'm going to stop recording now. So if you guys have your team members that you want to see a markup, it won't be allowed on YouTube, unfortunately. So guys, make sure you do invite people to see the markup right now if you can, because I can't record it. Okay, cool. So other than that, make sure you follow and subscribe on my channel. So let's stop recording.